What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Chrissy. I'm back with another video, and we are going to talk about how boring Wrestlepalooza was. Now, you guys can hear the excitement in my voice, right? Wrong. I'm literally burnt out on this Saturday watching Wrestlepalooza, and I'm going to give it a 5. It's a solid 5. Hunter was over promising and under delivering per usual. Nothing remotely happened. So if you missed it, if you couldn't pay the $30, trust me, you did not miss a thing. From start to finish, nothing remotely interesting happened. And this is the problem that I have with Triple H, a growing frustration that is growing because this man talks entirely too much and he under delivers and over promises, and it's just getting to the point to where I just wish he would just shut the fuck up at this point. Just do what Vince did. Run creative and shut your mouth. Like, we don't need to be seeing him doing these interviews. Basically, he's gaslighting us. I feel like he's gassing the audience. Like, you're going into something with these expectations, and then it's nothing like this man is saying that it is on an interview that he did or a podcast that he's doing promoting Wrestlepalooza. So this whole thing, I was uninterested from beginning to end. So I'm just going to give my thoughts on it. I'm not going to like super break down everything because honestly, I wasn't even really watching like that. I had a long day yesterday, so I was really tired. I was in and out, but I did wanted to make sure that I did catch this. So, I could talk about it with my audience. So, I will say, starting off, when I saw John Cena come out with them kids, I said, oh, yeah, he's losing. Like, I knew immediately he was going to be losing. So him and Brock Lesnar had a good showing. It was okay, like I said, per usual. And Brock Lesnar decimated John Cena towards the end. And again, I must say, I do not know why this match took place. I do not understand what was the point of this match. And John Cena said like a couple of weeks ago, there are other people that he could be wrestling that actually matters more than him wrestling Brock Lesnar. Like that, this match was built off their history. Nothing in the present time or what's going on now. We have yet to even learn why this match even took place or why it had to take place in the first place. So once Brock Lesnar did what he did, he had kids out there crying and all kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, I knew with how this match started that it just wasn't going to be a good night for me because I'm like, this is how they're starting. Kids are crying. So I said, oh yeah, this is going to be interesting. Then we get to the Usos. They come out to their theme music when they was doing the Uso Penitentiary, which was so cool. Jay Uso and Jimmy had on the same colors. They had their jerseys, but it was different for their individuality. Jay had the yeet on his, Jim had the number one. So that was really dope seeing that. I enjoyed that. And then they did Jay's entrance, and Jimmy kind of had to let the folks know, like, hey, we gonna show France how we do it over here on ESPN. So I want the lights off. I want y'all to have y'all flashlights on y'all phone, and we gonna yeet, 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 yeet. And they yeeted. They yeeted so much they had to run it back and yeet one more time. So I think that was the only pleasurable thing about Wrestlepalooza was Jay Uso's entrance with Jimmy. And then after that, the match started, and then Bronson and Braun Breaker came out with like Steiner attire. And I'm like, when I saw Bronson Reed, I'm like, why would you agree to this? Like, your uncles and your father means absolutely nothing to me. So why would I want to dress like a Steiner? Just me personally, but I guess because they doing the tag team, he probably went along with it. But I would have been coming out to what I want to come out to. Um, the match was okay. Jay hit himself with the chair, and for the love of me, I don't know how he did that. Um, it was some dope spots, but that match was okay too. And I do not like that Jay Uso ate the pin. Maybe because Jimmy eats the pin so much, I'm not really sure. You know, Jay Uso did pin Bronson Reed at SummerSlam, so maybe that was Bronson Reed's get back, creative giving Bronson his get back. But I don't care how they worded, I wasn't here for it. I do not understand this faction. And I love Seth, but it is so much individuality and they don't look like a cohesive unit. Bronson and Braun, to me, you can tell that creative is trying to push them and book them as strong stars, dominant, and all of this stuff, but they aura don't give that off. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? When just somebody has that aura of dominance, like how Brock Lesnar is from beginning to how he is now, from when we met him to how he is now. Brock Lesnar has never lost his spark with his dominance. He came in like that. And it wasn't like they had to super write him like that. He just gives that off that he's not somebody to play with. He don't play these games. He ain't here to hug your kids. He's not here to send y'all home happy. Brock Lesnar has always came off like that. And I feel like they're trying to do this thing with Bronson and Braun Breaker, but to me, it ain't registering for me. It's just not. Um, so yeah, that was that. They had a dominant showing over the Usos, and LA Knight being inserted as the special guest referee. I knew right then and there the Usos wasn't gonna win, because this is the thing with LA Knight, and I'm gonna talk about this in a separate video as well because I don't want this to go super long. But LA Knight is always being inserted into something that is none of something pertaining to himself. LA Knight has not had a story since his feud with Logan Paul that is just central to him. This is why I think he tweeters between maybe getting up there to, all right, he's back to the middle, maybe getting up there and then back to the middle, because he's always being inserted in somebody else's business and somebody else's storyline. And I'm like, bro, even when he was back there doing his backstage interview, I'm like, this guy, like, I like LA Knight as much as the next person, but it's like, man, I'm tired of hearing this guy and his catchphrases. So next, so we move on to, believe we had Io and Stephanie. It was a really good showing. I honestly thought Io was going to win, but I'm not disappointed that Stephanie won because I fucks with Stephanie. But I was expecting for Io to win. No shenanigans. Oscar didn't come out, Rhea didn't come out. You know, if you was on this card, you pretty much lost clean if you lost. I'll just put it that way. So Stephanie won, and now I'm looking at it like maybe Stephanie was going to defeat Naomi to begin with. They had to take a detour, but they ended up bringing it back. Maybe Stephanie was going to defeat Naomi for the title. So this gives story for, you know, for Stephanie and Rhea, possibly Stephanie and Asuka. You know, the possibilities are endless. So I'm okay with that. But no shenanigans. Like I said, it was no shenanigans in the Usos match, and it was no shenanigans with John Cena and Brock Lesnar. So that was that. And then we move on to the tag team match between Becky and Seth and AJ Lee and CM Punk. And by this time, I'm already like, I'm wiped out by this time because nothing interesting happened. Per usual, Becky and Seth had a dope ass entrance together as husband and wife. I mean, that was like, if you're in this company as husband and wife, you should definitely be looking up to what Seth and Becky is doing, because that was phenomenal. That was a moment. That was a hell of an entrance, and I enjoyed that. That is how you make an entrance. CM Punk, AJ Lee came out together. CM Punk had the I'm AJ's husband. And the match was cool. I feel like AJ Lee and Nikki Bella, they kind of wrestle the same. when they hit you or when they throw in their bows, it just looks so flimsy and it just doesn't hurt. Like that's how it comes off. Like it just doesn't. They're just swinging their arms, but it doesn't do anything. She has some dope spots with Seth Rollins. You know, she did the sliced bread and tornado DDT off of Seth, so they have some pretty cool moments. But of course, CM Punk and AJ Lee won per usual. I was hoping Seth was going to win personally, but I'm okay with CM Punk and AJ Lee winning because I know it's really, you know, for AJ Lee's purpose. She just came back. Why have her come back and then have her lose and all of this? So that was cool. And Undertaker comes and tells Stephanie that she's going to be inducted into the 2026 Hall of Fame, which I am proud to see Stephanie go into the Hall of Fame because she absolutely deserves it. She has had a very good career within WWE, and it's great to see her accomplishments finally get acknowledged. So I am very proud of Stephanie for getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And then we have Cody versus Drew McIntyre. I was on my phone for the majority of this match because by the time we got to here, I just didn't care anymore. I knew Cody was going to win because I've stated once before, Cody is the guy who beat the guy. Drew is the guy who couldn't beat the guy when he was the guy. So it was no way that I ever saw Drew as being a threat to Cody just because he's a heel. So again, no shenanigans, no Randy Orton, no nothing. If you lost on this card, you lost clean. Drew McIntyre, he had a good showing, but they did a good job at basically writing the match to where Drew McIntyre lost really because of himself. You know, he was overzealous, he was cocky, you know, he was trying to hit the Claymore onto the bottom of I think it was the announce table area, and Cody ended up moving out the way. He fucked up his knee, and that was the opening to where I knew, okay, Cody's about to close the match. Because he can't run on his knee if his knee is hurting. He can't hit the Claymore if his knee is messed up. So Cody does his Cody cutter, and then he hits his crossroads, and his 1, 2, 3 done. And that was it. Triple H said that expect surprises. This is going to be this is going to be that, and absolutely nothing happened. So I just don't care. This whole PLE, it was a 5. And they should be thankful that I'm giving it a 5 because it could be a close 3, but I'm giving it a 5 because of the Usos match and then also the EO and Stephanie match. So those 2 matches to me were like the best on the card. So yeah, I mean, you guys, to me, this wasn't worth no $30. I'll tell you that much. If I would have paid my $30 for this, I would be calling my bank, putting in a claim, and getting my $30 back because there will be no way I would pay $30 to watch something like that. That was not worth it. It was no surprises. Nothing happened. No exciting moments leading up to the finish. Nothing happened. And y'all are wanting people to pay $30 for this nonsense. Like, you're crazy. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think Wrestlepalooza is a 10? Do y'all think it's a 5? Do y'all think it's a 1? Y'all let me know, and then comment and let me know who you guys think had the best match on the card. And who was your least favorite on the card. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I will check you guys when we get to Raw. Toodles.